Okay, welcome to another special episode of goRIA, the live stream. If you've been watching this, you know for the past couple of days I've been broadcasting and recording live here at the FPA National Conference in Phoenix, Arizona. And today I have a really great guest to kick off day two, David Blanchett, who's the head of retirement research at PGIM. David, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Before we get into the discussion today, I, of course, want to thank our sponsor, LPL Financial. And as I like to say, if you like LPL as an independent broker-dealer, you're going to love LPL as an RIA custodian. Great value proposition, absolutely worth checking out. Okay, the other thing, too, for housekeeping is perhaps a little parental advisory for this podcast, because we're going to talk about a very dirty word, annuities.
The A word, right?
The A word, yes. Yeah. But perhaps not so dirty anymore. Right. So, David, tell us a little bit about annuities, and especially from our perspective, we look at everything through the lens of the RIA space. How has the demand for commission-free, fee-based annuities impacted how dirty of a word annuities are these days?
I think that there's a lot of individuals that would never say a positive thing about annuities 5 years ago that have kind of realized that that you can't create lifetime income with just a portfolio that's guaranteed or protected, right? So I think the problem with the word annuity, one of the problems is that it means a lot of different things. There's different products out there, but I think where advisors need to maybe think more proactively about annuities is solutions that provide lifetime income, because you can't guarantee that from a portfolio. And to your point, I think we're seeing a lot of improvements in the fee-friendly, fee-only space, where there's products available that they can use that are effectively more attractive potentially because there's no commission incorporated into the benefit structure.
Absolutely. And we've been watching that a while. So I've been in the RI space myself for about 5 years, but for 20 plus years prior to that, I was in the broker-dealer space. And I was never a huge fan of annuities because it was hard to make the math work. Some of these annuities, as you well know, especially, some years ago, we're talking 10, 12% commissions. If you have a 10 or 12% commission, how does the client even have a chance? But you fast forward to today, you strip out all those commissions, they start looking like pretty attractive products. How have you been seeing the adoption by the RIA space impacting this? Have you seen a lot of growth?
I would say that it's still slow, right? I think that there's still a lot that we can do around. To me, it's not just a product sale, right? There's all the operational stuff, the tracking stuff, the modeling stuff that make it really complicated. So I think that, we are seeing improvements. I'd like to see more, but directionally it's very positive. I think that a lot of advisors who wouldn't have considered them before actively considering them now, given the growth in the space.
Right. And how about interest rates? Has that been helping a lot of these annuity sales?
Oh, it's been massive, right? If you look about, one of the biggest drivers of the payouts in annuities is going to be interest rates. And so when you see this, this doubling or more than doubling of, 10-year bond yields, whatever you want to call it, over the last 2-3 years, we've seen a massive improvement in payouts. So I think that, I get it, I wouldn't have recommended that someone buy a 30-year duration or 20-year bond 2 or 3 years ago. Today, though, the math is very different, right? So all of a sudden, because of where rates have gone, because if you think about annuity, it provides income for life. It's kind of like a long-term bond. They're a lot more attractive when rates are higher.
Okay. And keeping on the implementation topic for just a moment, right? And that was also another big friction point,
right?
Especially for RIAs working on a fee basis, no commissions, getting compensated, right? You need to get paid for what you're doing. And incorporating these into the plans, into the account management software like the Orions, the Black Diamonds, how's that been evolving?
So, it's funny. I was actually on a call about this exact topic with an industry group earlier this week. I think that we as a group that wants to see more modeling of annuities is making progress, but there still is a way to go, right? I think that it's pretty easy to model the old school products like SPIAs and DIAs that provide a fixed payout for life. I think where the harder issues are these more complex products that use like fixed indexed annuities that have like a guaranteed living benefit. Like those are, I think, still often quite difficult to model in most of the tools advisors use for financial plans.
Got it. But do you see that changing? I imagine
I do.
You would.
I think that's part of this larger narrative is that advisors rely on these tools to demonstrate how the client's going to do in retirement, right? And so I think that part one of this discussion is how do we help them model these products and demonstrate the value of them when it comes to achieving a retirement goal. So that's phase one. And there's other issues too around just like the metrics that advisors use to kind of quantify outcomes. Like success rates are not a great outcomes metric for products that provide lifetime income because they reduce the magnitude of failure. So I think that we are seeing improvements on the modeling side, but there's also things that I think as an industry we've got to think about in terms of how we think about the value of them in a financial plan.
Makes some sense. And do you see the ease of use getting even better? Right, as
Yes.
far as the ability of just getting your hands on that as a RIA, being able to see this in your accounting systems. It seems like the integrations are coming fast and furious.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's lots of reasons why using annuities can be painful for advisors that are, fee only, and I think that insurers are well aware of those and actively tackling the issue. Um, so I think, long story short, we've seen improvements across the board in terms of insurers offering products. The operational side of things, all of that is improving right now.
Right. And let me ask you this question. This may not be in your wheelhouse, and if it's not, that's cool. But I'm really curious about this. So we have seen great strides over the past even 2 to 4 years
Mhm.
on the ease of use for fee-based advisors like RIAs to use annuities. A little bit, somewhat easier on the insurance side, but there's still like insurance that has commissions baked in that you just can't get rid of, like the term life, the
Yep,
long-term care, and they're not really conducive for putting a fee on top of.
they're not.
But is there any visibility you have on will there be an evolution there to offer a term policy, a long-term care policy, a long-term disability policy stripped of commission and sell it just as a service?
I mean, I'd like. I don't know, but I can just see where the difficulty is given the relatively small premium dollars, right? That's
Right.
effectively a sale. And so, I mean, if I had to guess for advisors that can't or don't or won't accept commissions in the interim, it really is going to be referring that out to a platform or other insurance individual agent that can sell that.
Yeah.
Longer term, I'd love to see that too, though. I mean, I think that advisors that are receiving compensation, either AUM, retainer, whatever, if they can recommend a product that
Right.
reduces that fee, that's adding value for the client.
I think that would be huge,
Yeah.
right? So why not just have, easier said than done, right? But why not just have a term policy with without commission baked in, a long-term disability policy with without. So if I am adopting one of those kind of subscription models, like I charge someone $500 a month,
Yep.
let me just have the term without the commission. I don't want it, and let's get the client a better deal by not having that commission in there.
Yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
wonderful to see.
I think conceptually makes a ton of sense. I mean, I don't know all the insurance regulations in terms of like filing,
Yeah.
distribution, all of that. So I mean, I can see reasons why there might be pushback, but eventually, to your point, like just as there is value in having these fee-friendly, fee-only annuities, it'd be great to have all these insured products that are fee-friendly because
Right.
it would allow the advisor to get paid on how they want to get paid via AUM, whatever else it is,
Right.
and then be offering a suite of products that they can access at a lower cost point than they could if they were to go direct to an agent that gets paid a commission.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's coming down the pike because that'd be really welcomed. I know from the RIA community for sure.
Right.
Right. Well, that's some great content, David. Any kind of parting thoughts that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that even if you can't use them currently today, if it's difficult, I would really start having these conversations with clients around the benefits of protected lifetime income of annuities.
Mhm.
I think that start small. SPIAs and DIAs are relatively low commission, pretty simple products. I think we're going to see a lot of newer products though in the future that provide different levels of flexibility around income benefits, all that. I'd love to see products that actually that sit on top of portfolios at RIAs called contingent deferred annuities. So I think we're going to see products
Mhm.
that are designed to make the RIA community more interested in using them for their clients.
Okay. I know I said we were going to wrap up, but I just heard about that this week as well. Is that sort of like a wrapper put on top of regular portfolio?
It
Is that what
is.
you're talking
So
about?
yeah, so they've been around like there's been one version that has not done well that's been around for over a decade. There are some interesting, I think, state considerations around these, but yeah, so it's like as opposed to giving the insurance company $100,000, right? It would be like you're, I don't know, paying 1% of your portfolio a year for this annuity. Where if you follow certain provisions, if you happen to still be alive when the portfolio is depleted, you then get the benefits for life. So it
Hmm.
allows the advisor to manage the portfolio on their platform, charge their fees and all of that. There's just an additional overlay fee for the insurance. I think that is a way that advisors would be much more interested in using these,
Absolutely.
using insurance because it allows them to keep everything on their books in their house, not that full transfer. I mean, there is innovation there. There's some roadblocks, but I think that if I had to guess, if we're going to get RAs really interested in annuities, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, well, you got my interest. I
There we
mean,
go. All right.
again, this is the second time I heard of it this week.
Yeah.
So basically, again, you have your own portfolio and essentially an annuity wrapper on top of that for a
Right.
fee. That's
No,
great.
it has to be hedgeable. You're going to
Sure.
have restrictions on the risk levels based upon the type of the insurance. But there's lots of ways that you can do it where it makes sense. And I think it's just so obvious why advisors should like that. Is it's still your portfolio, your platform, to everything. So I really think that, again, I think if we're going to see a large growth in annuities among advisors, it's that kind of product, because it gives them more control.
Without question. Well, that's a great place to end it. But I tell you what, love to have you on to do a full podcast on that topic.
Sure.
That's a great topic.
Okay.
All right. So more to come on that. All right. David Blanchett with PGIM, thank you a lot for joining us.
Sure.
And on behalf of Investment News and goRIA, thanks for joining us for our first session today. We have 4 more coming, so look out for those. And then we're going to incorporate all of these into kind of a Heard at FPA podcast that will drop sometime in the next week. So we'll see you probably another hour or so. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.